I thought it might be of interest to some people to see some of the process that was involved in the building of our truck camper. This took place over a period of 6 months from late October 2023 to late April 2024. The process of building the camper began with constructing the lower portion, which is known as the tub. Although I don't have photos of the very beginning, you can see the progress from a certain point. I used the composite construction technique of sandwiching XPS foam between layers of 1/4-inch plywood, bonding those together for strength and insulation value. Next, I began constructing the walls of the camper. The vertical studs and the rafters I constructed out of laminating 3 layers of 1/2-inch plywood together and cross-joining those at those 45-degree angles, which gives great strength. The stud portions are 2.5 inches wide and the rafter portions are 3 inches deep. So here we see I have framed in the entry door to the camper. And this is the front wall where the Cabover portion will go. Because of the limited available space in my piano shop, I constructed a dolly using piano casters so I could move the camper around as needed for access to the various areas of it. The next part of the process was to begin constructing the floor of the Cabover section, which again I used the composite construction technique of sandwiching the XPS foam between 2 layers of 1/4-inch plywood. This dark area is the landscape fabric that I used in employing what's called poor man's fiberglass, which I will talk more about later in the video. This next part of the process involves beginning constructing the Cabover portion of the camper, including the floor and the columns and rafters. Here I begin placing the XPS foam in place, ready to be bonded to the external 1/4-inch skin of plywood skin of the camper. And here you see the 1/4-inch plywood skin being installed on the exterior of the camper as well as on the interior right there. And it is glued to the XPS foam, which gives it great strength. The next step after the exterior plywood is attached and sanded is to begin applying what's known as poor man's fiberglass. That's what this dark material is. This consists of using a matrix of waterproof glue, and I use landscape fabric and then more glue, several layers of it, and use sand between layers. And then finally there will be several coats of exterior acrylic latex paint, sanding between each layer. I made a solid oak threshold from one of the large oak trees on our property that we had cut and had milled into oak boards. The next step was to begin making the entry door for the back of the camper. Roughing in the wiring for both 110 volt and 12 volt. We decided to use the 5mm plywood for the interior surfaces of the camper, the walls and the ceilings. Decided to just shoot a brief video of the inside of the camper. I have the cabinets all boxed in now. Kind of hard to get everything in. Didn't have room for a regular door here, so I made a sliding door. And these are the doors that I'm making for all the cabinets. So and there's the Cabover, and then this is the kitchen side. The sink will go in right there. Doors on that. Down in the below there will be microwave, and then under there my power station will go there, and down under that will be like a 5-gallon plastic water tank. And down there will be pots and pans, storage down below. We're actually going to have quite a bit of storage for the size of the camper. And I'll be doing this trim down the middle split all the way down there. It's going to look really sharp when it's done. Getting pretty excited about it. More later. Now starts the process of making the cushion and the covers for the cushions, which relied on Margaret's skill as a seamstress. And here we're putting the cover on the foam. Just a quick little video to show where we're at on our camper. Not completely done, but final stages. So, looking inside, we just got our cushions done. Margaret and I did those. And all of our curtains and retainers are all up. There's a bed, there's storage behind that bed. The refrigerator will go right over here. Here we got a microwave. And these plugs, the ivory one is our power bank, and the dark brown, that's shore power. So there it is for now, and here of course is our table on a lagoon type mount. That cushion right there goes into this space to make the bed. And we'll just take off the table and the horizontal mount, and then the vertical mount drops right down and stays underneath. So that's where it's at for now. Here we are on the slab outside the shop now. Caden and I were able to roll it out. There you see the bears. And here's our canoeists. And then, I don't know if I can, the clearance was really close. We actually were about a ½ inch from that, but we made it. So now I need to install the roof vent fan, and then tomorrow we intend to get it up and on the truck. Our thanks to our friend Brad Austin, our son-in-law Tony Marshall, and grandson Caden Marshall for all the help and hard work of getting the camper mounted on the truck.